Let's talk about some characteristics and best practices of strong and effective governing boards. I will briefly mention 12 characteristics and corresponding best practices. We'll spend more time on some than on others. Characteristic number 1, board members understand the role, purpose, and function of the board, including board structure. What is a governing board? A governing board is an elected body that oversees the ministry and mission of a local church or ministry organization between annual membership meetings. A governing board is guided by the church manual and/or ministry organization bylaws and articles of incorporation. I'm asked periodically, what does a local church or ministry organization governing board do? Frequently, suggestions come to me regarding what governing boards should do. Remember this best practice: head in, fingers out. Head in, fingers out. What do I mean by that phrase? Strong and effective governing boards focus on policy formulation and mission strategy, not on policy implementation and daily operations. Board members are engaged in the oversight of the organization, asking questions, observing, commenting, but leave the operations and daily administration of the church or organization to the pastor or leader. Effective boards empower and energize the elected leaders to do the work they were called to do. Max Dupree, a great lay Christian board leader, wrote a book entitled Call to Serve. It's really a book for volunteer board members. He made this statement in his book: the chief responsibility of boards is to be effective on behalf of the organizations. You may ask, what does it mean to be effective on behalf of the church or organization? To be effective means to function appropriately in the 3 modes of church government. Mode number 1, a fiduciary mode. In this mode of thinking, the board seeks to ensure the legal and financial integrity of the church or organization. The board seeks to serve as a faithful steward of the tangible assets, property, building, etc. In this mode of thinking, the board seeks to approve and deploy resources missionally and wisely. In this mode of thinking, the board seeks to guard the long-term health and mission accomplishment of the ministry organization, the fiduciary mode. Number 2, the strategic mode. In this mode of thinking, the board is a planning partner with the pastor. In this mode of thinking, the board is proactive and intentional. Key words: proactive and intentional in strategic planning for mission and vision fulfillment. In this mode of thinking, the board is aggressive in reviewing the strategic planning documents in light of the mission and vision of the local church or the mission organization. In this mode of thinking, the board is assured that a strategic plan is current and is relevant. The strategic mode. Number 3 is what we call the representative mode. In this mode of thinking, comments are rooted in the church's values, traditions, and beliefs. In this mode of thinking, questions are framed taking into account the heritage of the church, such as, how is the church's ethos communicated through these youth programs? In this mode of thinking, concerns are expressed in terms of consistency with denominational policy and doctrines, such as, do our decisions violate the values of our church? In this mode of thinking, policies are developed and priorities are established consistent with the church's mission, vision, and values. In summary, the board has governance and coordinating responsibility for the local church in the areas of mission and vision clarity, in the area of financial health and legal standing, in the area of doctrinal integrity, in the area of the spiritual well-being of our constituency, and in the area of strategic planning. Oftentimes, in consultation with district, national, regional, or even global church leadership as needed and as appropriate. Let me speak briefly to the local church board-pastor relationship. The local church. The local church elects the pastor to implement the mission and cast the vision for the church. The board, with the pastor as chair, leader, serves as the eyes, the ears, the hands, even the feet of the membership between annual meetings. It is the responsibility of the pastor leader to recommend goals and policies to the board for mission effectiveness, vision realization, strategic planning, and program implementation. Let me conclude this section of the presentation by commenting on board committees and agenda development. Effective boards have functioning committees for effective decision-making. Board agendas are developed to ensure balance between leadership reports, and they are important, and time to deal with long-term direction and strategic progress of the local church or ministry organization. I challenge you to guard the board agenda. Save appropriate time to deal with these long-term direction and strategic issues facing your local congregation or ministry organization. Guard the board agenda. Let's pause and discuss these issues.
One of the elements that I like to see being displayed or demonstrated strongly is the ability of a board member to speak freely and constructively, yet maintaining objectivity on issues that may be sensitive, on issues that may be complex, in its pursuit to enhance or develop the institution.